Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to Stand Up Moto and a quick look at what might just be the best motorcycle accessory I've ever bought, full stop. And if you're a regular to the channel, you know that I don't do advertising on my channel. I bought this, I paid full price for it, but I get asked about it all the time. So yeah, here's a look at my, well, there's the brand, Neo-Dyne motorcycle loader. So when I first roll up to pick up a bike, this is basically how it is. I park the car like this. I've got to drop the rear tailgate on the ute. This is only a two-wheel drive ute, so it's nice and low in the tray, but this works on a four-wheel drive. It works on anything. I've seen these in vans, people mount them on trailers, dual cab utes, etc. I'm going to drop the rear gate because I have to do the demonstration, but I'm also going to drop the side gate because it just helps you look and see what I'm actually up to. In general standard form, it comes as you see it here. Don't worry about that for a sec. This is how you see it. You'd pull that, you bring the unit out and you lower it. Now I've got it bolted down. I have put little L brackets, in fact I'll show you those, little brackets down underneath onto the chassis of the vehicle. So it's not just bolted to the tray, the aluminium tray. I'll show you a picture of those little brackets that go down onto the chassis. And I've also got another one here for this extension. Now, when I bought the Neodine, I bought this extension mainly because of things like Harleys and Gold Wings and bikes that have got really low exhaust pipes. You can get a fairly severe angle. Of course, dirt bikes and those sort of things, not a problem. The exhausts are all up high. But if you've got this mounted, the actual main system, mounted onto a four-wheel drive ute or a high trailer, maybe the back of a truck, you'll get a pretty severe angle as you're loading the bike on. So this extension just alleviates that. We've slid the main track out, and so as it doesn't move, boom, down with that little one. That now holds it nice and firm. So we'll pop this on. I'll show you how that works. Pretty simple. So there's the extension. You can see the brackets on the end here. This is a beautifully engineered piece of equipment, but it's nice and simple. You put that in, that one will sit on there, that one will sit on there. You lift it and then you just drop that one and that one. And you can see now, if I come back, yeah, it's added quite a bit of length to it. So when we put the ramp down, our angle is not going to be as severe. If I lift the camera up a bit, you'll see. Actually, yeah, I'll pop it down now. One of the reasons I went for this lifter is that you don't need to wire your vehicle, so you're not running Anderson plugs and wiring and everything. There's a gearbox here that you can see, a reduction gearbox, and you just use an electric drill, well, a battery operated drill. I use Milwaukee stuff because they're nice and torquey, and this fitting that goes in the end, if I undo that and take it out, this is just a tech screw type fitting on the end here and a 1/2 inch drive. So that's a 19mm socket that goes onto here, and you just go forward or reverse with the drill. Nice and simple. So now you've got your drill. I'll pop that back in. Pretty straightforward. Pop it on there and go in reverse. This is all there is to it. Down she goes. Now, because this is a gravelly type surface here, a dirt surface, I've just made up this little piece of alloy plate, and I pop the alloy plate under the bottom of it here so as the little rollers and things don't end up in the dirt. Yeah, pretty straightforward. That could be a piece of anything, a piece of timber, a piece of ply, but down she goes. Well, it is pretty all down. Then the track itself, pop that up there, Steve, the track itself, or the front wheel holder will go down. So from here, it's almost ready to load. Next thing we do, I'll bring the camera closer. There's a couple of little overhooks here that you put on. That just stops, so as when you wheel the bike in, that doesn't go back up the carrier. So one on that side, one on that side. Put down the actual entry ramp and that's it. You're ready to wheel the bike straight into it, as we'll do. Walk the bike up, and that's it. It's in the holder. Sometimes it'll sit there. Will it sit there on its own? It's popped down the side stand, and that's it. We now have to just fasten, probably off of the bottom of the triple clamp there, down. Oh, let's get the camera in. We'll have a look at how we do it. So depending on the bike and what's in the road, etc., you can either use the normal motorcycle tie downs, which in this case I think will be fine on this bike. Around here, like so, and pop it on there. That will work. Or if you've got an awkward situation, you use these AC straps, which are perfect for coming around. Then you put your tie down from there. You've just got to be careful, of course, because you have clamps, the hooks on the end. You don't want them grabbing something and hitting on the side of the fork. These will just give you a bit of clearance to get away. Fasten that section onto there, pull it up, one either side, and she's ready to start lifting. Pop another AC strap on this side around the bottom here of the clamp down onto there and pull it up. In this case, I can just pull the bars over a bit, straighten the bike, and that's it. That's now enough to lift the bike. But these, of course, we've got a lot of excess here. Make sure you throw that up over the bars because you don't want it getting caught in mechanisms and things. But yeah, that's about it really. It's a pretty straightforward process. So we'll just pop that strap up and over so it doesn't get caught in anything. Get that one out the road. You just don't want it getting involved in anything. Now, one thing really crucial to remember is lift these two hooks, one either side. They're the little hooks I showed you that stop the mount from moving forward. Make sure you lift them, and then that's it. Pop on the drill and away you go. So of course we were in reverse because we just lowered the section. Now into forward and away she goes. Now, when you get to this point, of course, we now have to lift the entire weight of the bike. I'll always go from number 2 or second gear back to first gear. It just gives it a little bit more strength. And that's it. The bike is up. We had that little lever that we put over that stopped it from sliding before. You lift that, which I probably should have put that side stand up too, but being a dirt bike, doesn't really matter. Come behind it and just roll it in. It is that simple. You then have 2 spring-loaded retainers here. They will stop it from sliding back. So clip those, give it a pull back, and that's it, it's in. She's not going anywhere. This section, I'll then just grab here, 1, 2, drop it down and take it off the same way that we put it on. As I say, if you've got high dirt bikes or something, it really doesn't matter. I bought this for a purpose and I didn't need to use this for this job, but I just thought it'd be good to show you how it works. Bang. It's on. Your bike is loaded. Now do the tie down process. These can stay here, those front straps that I put on, there's no need to take them off. They can stay on the bike, but I will of course put additional ones on that come down to outer eyelets that I've got here on the tray. It's good, it's solid, it's up off the ground, and you can now close the gates. 1, 2, yeah, and transport your bike. Taking it off, those same 2 pins that held it from moving, we pull those out, turn 1, 2. We've got to put the extension back on because I took that off when I showed how you load. So there's a close-up of how those brackets work. Basically this section here fits onto that pin sticking out. The top pin, that closes down over it. Pretty straightforward, fairly simple. Up, 1, 2, and then slide the bike out. Out she comes, bang, you heard it hit that stop at the end. So of course we've got to put that, excuse my back to the camera, we have to put that gate down again, and that's it. The bike is ready to unload. Select second gear. I always think this bit looks so cool as the bike just rolls off and onto the ground on its own. Bang, it's down. Once again, pop those 2 little gates over. 1, 2, and you're ready to unload the bike. Undo your straps and just wheel the bike off. Now the right strap is off, going to take off the left one. I always pop the side stand down, just in case it moves one way or another. At least you know you could pull it this way. It generally holds in these cups pretty well. Undo that strap, drop him off, and yeah, wheel the bike out. If that's not just the easiest bike loading method you've ever seen, I don't know what is. But what does it cost?
So this is where you might buck a little. This unit came in just a whisker shy of 6,000 Aussie dollars. And as much as that may seem, and let's be honest, it is, let's break it down a bit. If you're carting around an expensive bike, or any bike for that matter, you don't want to risk damaging it. Then there's the convenience factor, just how easy this thing is to use, and the fact that you can still have your bike and tow a trailer or a boat or a caravan, whatever. Then there's the build quality. I mean, this thing is beautiful. The main runners are out of 6061 aircraft grade aluminium that's been anodized, and the steel fittings are either powder coated or zinc plated. That little blue reduction gearbox you can see there at the front is oil filled. It's not just dry bushes. I've opted to bolt it down, but there's also a boltless kit available that allows you to just strap it into the back of, I don't know, a vehicle, trailer, whatever you're using. If you've got a dual cab with a shorter tray, there's also this folding hinge assembly thingy. I haven't seen it in person, but you can see it there. There's no wiring or batteries. You just need a decent cordless drill to operate it. And as crass as this term is, kids, put your fingers in your ears, it's not as if you've pissed your money against the wall. When your bike riding or at least moving bike days are over, you've still got a very sought after unit that you can sell or on-sell. As I said, I'm not being paid to make this video. I just think it's a really good product. Anyway, I'll take a breath and I'll put the link to Neo-Dyne Australia in the description of this video.
So at the end of the day, would I buy it again? I wouldn't even hesitate. This little unit has made my life so easy. I don't worry about damaging bikes or, hey, I'm an old dude, let's be realistic, damaging myself. You have got a further expense if you haven't got already battery powered drills, and depending on what brand and size, etc. You don't want a toy drill, they're just not strong enough. You need a decent power drill. That's just a socket and that extension as we looked at earlier in the video. I think this is a really top piece of kit. You may not need this extension section if you're only carrying dirt bikes or bikes with a high clearance, but if you're using trays that are high, I mean, people have got these things fitted in vans, they've got them on the back of motorhomes. If you look at some of the American videos, there's people with big Winnebagos and they've got these mounted across the back. They've got Harleys and all sorts. It gives you the freedom to be able to maneuver your vehicle around without the hassle of something on the back, as in tow bar, trailers, etc. to carry your bike. I think they're a really great piece of kit. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed my look at the Neodine lifter. Yeah, let me know what you think. But until next time, the review on the V-Strom, that's a used bike review of what may just be one of the best used bike buys out there. Anyway, until next time, cheers.